Well, what do we have here? Fraternal twins. Well, I was driving down the road today and just happened to glance over in the side of a boat repair shop, and I saw this little gem sitting off in the corner. And it's been a couple of weeks, or I'd say about a month, since I got this one done, and it's been running like a champ. We took it out on Memorial Day. A couple weekends after that, we've been using it 2 or 3 times a week, and we take it out with the big boat right there, and we have a blast. And we've been inviting family and friends and all that kind of good stuff. Well, I'm sitting there going, well, I got one. Wouldn't it be cool to have 2? Well, so I've been kind of half-assed looking, but not really like serious, until I saw this. And it's a 95 SLX, and that means that it has the 780 engine. So it's got more power and a different jet, so it sticks out. You can see it sticks out a little bit further than the 750 back there. So yeah, it's a little dirty, but that's what happens when you leave these things sitting out. It has sponsons on the side. I think that's what those things are called for cutting. Has a really, it's a Roadrunner trailer, Roadmaster I should say, which is the same one as the little purple one over there. But somebody decided to cut it shorter and re-weld it back up. So I'll grind that down and make it look nice. So this thing is in great shape. That's the good. It runs. I've heard it run. It doesn't have a hole in the piston. I just compression tested all 3 cylinders. It has 150 psi across the board, which is a lot more than that one. That one only has about 130. And I just put new rings in it, so I don't know if the 780 has got more compression. It also looks like somebody upgraded the flame arresters and to those individual ones. It has the stock fuel pump, which I don't know if you can see it down there, but it's right there on the wall. And it looks like it's a triple output, but I'm going to go ahead and replace it with a new one anyway, just to be sure. That's the big problem with this one, is a fuel system. Somebody started to do an upgrade on it, but decided to quit, and they took this thing out, the fuel sender unit, out of the tank, and it's not here. So I've got to source that. I don't know where the hell. I've looked on eBay. Doesn't look like anybody's got one for sale, so I'm probably going to have to pony up at the dealership. So if anyone's got one of those for SLX, which is a 780, that would be wonderful. I've got a PayPal account and I can pay you for it. I'm also going to convert this over from the oiler system to the block off and do premix, which is what that guy does right there, and it works great. We just do 40-to-1. We keep a couple of tanks of 40-to-1 mixture when we go out. I guess we're gonna need more now. But yeah, this thing runs. I'm gonna actually take those carb covers off and dump some mixture down in there and just double check everything, make sure it's good. And I'm probably gonna run a pop-off test on this to make sure the carburetors aren't gum. Now on the computer, it says it only has 22 hours on it. I don't know if that's 100% or not. That one said 160 hours when I bought it. So I don't know if this thing can actually be reset, you know, like rolling back the odometer or not. But I mean, it seems to be, the engine seems to be clean with the exception of being dusty. There's not a lot of garbage in here like you see in a lot of these skis. But it has the black carburetors, which I guess is what's proprietary to the 780. And I need to get a thumb throttle. I didn't notice this until I got home. I should have got another $50 off. Oh, that brings me to the price. All right, so I pull up and I ask the guy how much he asking for it. And he says $900. And I said, that's way too high. So after 2 hours of negotiating and talking and things, I walked away from this with a $550 investment. And that's for the trailer, the ski, all the title transfer paperwork, and all that kind of good stuff. So I'm pretty happy, to be honest with you. That's about what I've got invested in that one. I think I gave $6 for that one, and I had to rebuild one of the jugs. So I, got a little more in it. This one actually runs, needs a fuel system upgrade, which will cost me about $200 to $250, new fuel filter and so on and so forth. So we'll see. Oh, and the MFD up there at the top works like a champ. Mine, you have to be at the other one, you have to be at a certain angle to view it. So this one works really good. So I'm excited that we have 2 now. Now the big thing is I've now got to find a double trailer. We have 2 vehicles with trailer hitches, and if we take the boat and the 2 brothers, that's what we're calling it, we need 3 cars. So I've started looking on Craigslist and found a couple of double trailers at a decent price. So what I'll do is I'll kind of clean this one up a little bit, buy a double trailer, get these transferred over to it, and then sell these two. Probably get about $350 for each for them, so that ought to get me a nice little double trailer. I'll be happy with it. And that way we can take the van and pull the double trailer out there and have fun on the lake. So my goal is to have this thing running in about a week. I've got kind of a busy day, busy work week, so we'll kind of see what happens as parts needed. I don't know how hard it's going to be to source that guy right there, so we'll see. Well, a quick little update before I put up for the evening and start looking for parts online. I took the little triple carburetor flame arresters off, dumped my little 40-to-1 fuel mixture down in the throats, and the sucker fired right up. I mean, it actually filled this. You know, I dumped some oil down inside the cylinders to help with the compression, just, you know, because it's been sitting for a little while, and put some fire to it, and wham, came right on. So now I got to find one of these things. I just did a quick search on eBay, and it looks like one for 95 bucks. So looks like, you know, that's what I need for this to get started. And I think I'm going to go ahead and take the carbs off and then do an oil block off. So we'll see what I decide to do. Well, here's the interesting little twist. I found the ground screw to enable to put the ground wire on the battery. I was kind of holding it on there before and firing it off. The MFD was working beautifully. Now the MFD didn't work at all. The engine still starts up and runs perfectly. Everything's there, works great, but I don't get anything on the display up there, and it was working great. So I don't know if maybe I shorted out the CDI or something and blew a fuse in there. I don't know. I'll take it apart and see, but that's a little frustrating. That little bugger is freaking expensive. Okay, another update. The MFD is fixed. It turns out that inside the CDI there is a little fuse. See it right there? It's a 1/4 amp 250 volt, and apparently when I was like an idiot holding the ground on there and starting this thing without actually having it screwed down, it was causing a short, and so everything seems to be okay now. I can see here mode. Yeah, it's not changing. There we go. Clock, distance. See, there's the hours. 22.9. You might know if that's volts, 12.2 volts. So if somebody knows if that's, you know, kosher with, or if that can never be reset, so maybe this thing only has 22 hours on it. I mean, hell, the compression's over 150, so I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to rebuild those carbs though, just to make sure it doesn't run lean or anything like that. So I'm gonna put it back together, call it a night. I'm pretty happy. 550 bucks, and then I'll have to put a little bit of money into it, and then we'll have two, plus the big one.